It is the final month of 2025. It is a little unsettling and troubling that time can go this fast once you're past a certain age. I remember when I was like a kid, you couldn't wait for time pass to like grow up and buy whatever you wanted. And now that I'm here, it sucks. Absolutely sucks. But what will lift my spirits is some of the sneaker releases that are coming in December. So I'm going to go through some of the shoes that I really want for this month. And like always, the disclaimer, sneaker release dates just fluid as hell. They can change at any given moment. Some shoes that are supposed to drop in December will not. Some shoes that I don't even know about, you don't know about, or just surprisingly be announced for this month. So if I miss any, blame those companies, don't blame me. Here we go. At number 10, it is the Jordan 5 PSG that is dropping on December 3rd for $210. Now, I don't follow soccer at all, so PSG really has no appeal or connection to me. But in the vacuum, I've always thought the colors just look really good on sneakers. There was, of course, that Jordan 4 PSG that looked really nice. The Jordan 5 Low also had a PSG shoe that came out. And this shoe, as a black sneaker lover and as a Jordan 5 lover, I think this looks pretty good as well. So the shoe features a mix of what looks to be canvas on the upper as well as leather. And you'll see the mid panels comes with PSG branding with a lace lock that also is branded, which says Paris. The insoles are also custom as well with a soccer field with France's colors. And the shark teeth on the shoe looks to be like a very light purple or almost pink. Now, one thing that I don't love about this shoe, it is that yellow pea stain outsole. I just don't know why they have to put that on there. It just looks dirty. It looks gross. I don't know why they need it. Just make it clear, make it white. It'll look so much better. It'll pop just as much. Would have made the shoe more than a 10 on this list. Also, if I actually cared about soccer or the club PSG, I would have propelled this shoe a lot more. But because I don't, I still love black sneakers, still love Jordan 5s. This is a nice shoe, but it's still just number 10. And at number 9, it is the Nike SB Dunk Low Krampus that is dropping on December 2nd for $130. Now, I believe this shoe, some retailers already have released it, but on sneakers, it is December 2nd. So wider release then. And Krampus, of course, it is a folklore. I'm actually not too familiar with it. And you will see this dark brown crack leather aesthetic on the upper of the shoe. It actually extends all the way to the sole as well with this kilted type of tongue. The inside of the tongue also says not surprised. Custom insoles, of course. And the shoe also comes with custom paper as well as a hang tag that has this Krampus graphic. Now, I do think 2025 has been a pretty quiet and like weaker year for SBs. Last year was pretty quiet as well. I remember in 2023 when like the Doritos SB Dunks dropped, the Born and Raised SB Dunks also dropped. There was the April Skateboards SBs, the first Yuto SB Dunk dropped. That was a bonkers year for SBs. This year, I can't quite remember what's my favorite SB of 2025. Maybe the second Yuto shoe, but yeah, kind of pales in comparison. This is a pretty nice shoe. And as someone that's getting older, brown always, for whatever reason, just starts to appeal to people more as they age. Definitely applies to me. And number 7, it is the A Ma Maniére Jordan 4 Dark Mocha that is dropping on December 12th for $225. Honestly, I think a few years ago, this would have been like all the hype. Would have been like top 10 sneakers of the year. People would have gone nuts for this shoe. Maybe people still will, but I do think A Ma Maniére's popularity or hype around the sneakers, I guess, has kind of quieted down over the past few years. People seem to be getting kind of bored with the collaborations where it's like violet ore or like that diffused blue. This goes for a slightly different shade, so something not as commonly seen in their past collaborations. I personally still love all their collaborations, or most of them anyway. I think the violet burgundy type of shade is like a cheat code. You put that on a shoe and just elevates it a bit. It still looks really nice. And this dark mocha color is beautiful. Love this shade. You see this shoe does seem to come with just nubuck on the upper. And usually for A Ma Maniére collaborations, the materials are better than like a general release. You'll also see one of their staples, kilted ankle lining, as well as behind the tongue with Nike Air on the booty. Most of their collaborations gets that OG Nike Air treatment with wax laces, again, to give it a slightly more elevated look. Now, the inspiration behind the shoe isn't known yet, but like A Ma Maniére releases, they're probably going to release like a short video, have a huge write-up around what inspired this release. I'm looking forward to it. The Jordan 6 A Ma Maniére recently dropped Didn't actually get my hands on that shoe, but it did look very nice. So despite what other people may think about current Armand Bonnier collaborations, I for one am still really looking forward to them. And at number 6, it is the Nike Air Flightposite Midnight Navy or Eggplant that is dropping on, I believe, December 1st for $240. Now, originally this shoe looked to be dropping on November 21st. I've already actually reviewed this, so if you want to know the exact details of the shoe, an in-depth review, go check out my video. This is a shoe a lot of people kind of tie back to Jason Kidd's PEs that he wore in 2000 during the All-Star game. However, it really does have quite a few differences. So number one, that lace shroud on the shoe is a completely different color. Jason Kidd PEs had a black lace shroud. This shoe has like a bluish lace shroud. It obviously doesn't have the number 32 on the Velcro strap up top. So I don't know if Nike intended this to be like a general public release of the Jason Kidd PE or just kind of a remix with the original 1999 metallic purple colorway. It also came back in 2008 as a House of Hoops exclusive, and that was like the eggplant colorway. So I'm not too sure the intention behind this release, but regardless, I think this is a very good looking shoe. The color shifting look of the shoe is pretty cool as well. So under like different lighting, it almost looks like green, and then without as much of a bright light under it, you see this more purple or like midnight navy shade. Obviously a very unique looking shoe with the whole lace shroud. And like I said, if you want to know the history, the details, how it feels on feet, go check out my review of this shoe. And at number 5, it is the Soulfly Air Jordan 3 that is dropping on December 5th for $230. Now the Miami Hurricanes actually debuted this shoe, so we've already seen people wear this. And originally in 2014, Soulfly did have this Friends and Family Jordan 3 collaboration that never saw a general public release, but they're coming back with a wider release of a Jordan 3 for Soulfly. And the colors, very obviously inspired by Miami. So you see green and orange on like a white leather upper. Looks to be some pretty nice materials. They got rid of the elephant print that is very unique to Jordan 3s, but I do think when they swap it out for like a plain color, it can look pretty clean. And on the heel of the shoe, you'll see very subtly the Soulfly logo debossed, and it does get the Nike Air treatment on the booty. So Nike probably wanted this shoe to be very special, which makes sense because the owner and founder of Soulfly is Michael Jordan's brother-in-law. One thing that I probably don't love is the Nike Air booty does look to have this sail age look. Again, don't know why they need that. Now the inside of the tongue also says Sunshine State and Miami, and it does come with a custom branded insole with a custom box. I have said for a long time, a lot of Soulfly collaborations I feel like are a little underrated. So I really love the Soulfly Jordan 8s, the Jordan 13 Soulfly from a few years ago with the ripstop material. The Soulfly Jordan 12 I think was very simple, but it was pretty clean as well. And this Jordan 3 I think looks really good. And at number 4, it is the Jordan 11 China that is dropping on December 1st. This is one of 9 Jordan 11s in the holiday season. So there was some city exclusives. So Atlanta, Houston, Vegas all got their own shoes. And this one is not a city exclusive, but it is for the entire country of China. And I believe it's only dropping in Asia. So put it on this list, even though we won't get easy access to it. But I think this is a very nice looking shoe. The kind of deep red on the Jordan 11 looks pretty nice. And instead of the usual kind of ballistic nylon mesh base, it does have a different flavor to it with these beaded architectural patterns that you often see in China specifically. The distinct Jordan 11 patent leather is still there. And then behind the tongue, instead of the usual quality inspired by the greatest player ever tag, you see a bunch of Chinese characters. Now, as someone that can read that, it is pretty cool what they did here. So you'll see a bunch of Jumpman like logos in that tongue, and that actually replaces the word God. So in China, I believe one of their nicknames for Michael Jordan is God. So if you put like the actual word God into the places where they have the Jumpman logo, you'll actually get like 4 different quotes that basically described what Michael Jordan is to them. So the first one basically means like unbelievable. It's hard to really completely translate what those kind of sayings are in English. That makes a lot of sense. That's the idea behind it. And if you can read those characters, it'll absolutely make sense to you. 5 characters on the very right that says Jordan Volume 11. And another change is the paper in the box, not just the usual like carbon fiber looking type of paper on a Jordan 11. It also comes with a bunch of Chinese characters. So really playing into the locality of this release. And I think overall on a shelf, this is probably one of the better Jordan 11s of that entire holiday release, but it's not the best. And number 3, it is the Jordan 11 Gamma that is dropping on December 13th for $235. Now this is probably the most anticipated Jordan 11 from that holiday lineup. And this colorway first dropped in 2013. The first time we're seeing a retro of this shoe actually. It does come in a pretty kind of standard Jordan 11 setup with the ballistic nylon mesh, with the pant leather on the mudguard area, with Gamma blue throughout. I will admit, I probably don't love this colorway as much as some other people love this colorway. I've seen some like comments around the Gammas. They're like, this is one of the best Jordan 11 colorways ever. I personally don't think so. I think the Bread, the Space Jam, I even like the Legend Blue probably slightly more, maybe because that was an OG, so kind of elevates it a little bit. Cool Grays, I think are one of the best too. I think are better than the Gammas, but compared to the other Jordan 11s from this year's holiday season, I think this is the best. And at number 2, it is the Nike Air Foamposite Pro Pine Green that is dropping on December 19th for $240. Nike is spoiling Foamposite fans for the end of the year with the Foamposite Pro Pearl that Ray Allen wore in He Got Game just dropping late November. Now they're following up with this colorway from 2011. First time that we're seeing it return. This looks beautiful. This really looks beautiful. I have it in hand and I'm about to review it. It just looks so nice. There's like a color shifting look to it. So under brighter, like harsher light, you'll see the pine green shine through a little bit more. Without it, it's kind of like a dark green, almost black from like a distance. It looks so good. So good. And I do think the swoosh from the Foamposite Pros actually makes it look slightly better than like a Foamposite 1. I do like how that swoosh breaks up the upper, so you do see this ice blue translucent outsole with the nubuck eye stays, just like the OG foams came with, and the 2 pull tabs with the jeweled air branding on the middle of the tongue. Now I can't say if this green is exactly the same shade as the 2011 pine greens. I think it's a little different, but I don't care. I don't care because it looks so good. And at number 1, it is the Jordan 8 Bugs Bunny that is dropping on December 20th for $210. This is undoubtedly one of the best Jordan 8 colorways ever. It is an OG colorway. So originally Michael Jordan did wear this in 1993, but obviously people dubbed this the Bugs Bunny colorway for a reason. It was worn during the hair campaign back in the day leading up to the movie Space Jam. But even without all that, because personally I never really cared about the Looney Tunes, just in a vacuum, this looks so good. The brush stroke colors on this shoe with the just plain white leather on the shoe looks so good. So good. You'll see the very distinct X strap on the Jordan 8 with the 23 debossed into the middle and the chenille tongue as well. It did come back in 2003 and 2008 as part of the Countdown pack, as well as 2013. So it's been over 10 years since we've seen this. This is probably the last sneaker that I'll get in 2025. And I think it's a pretty great way to cap off the year. So that's it. Thanks for watching Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of my list. What shoes did I miss? What shoes do you really want? Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.